I'm going to share with you what I learned after creating digital products for McDonald's and Wio Bank and another 50 companies during the last 6 years. I'm going to start with my story. When I was studying in university, I was studying to be an engineer, but I started to get very curious about business. But I had zero idea on how to create a business or if that was even possible. It was 7-8 years ago, so we didn't have all the information we had right now in YouTube. So what I started to do, I started to wake up very early in the morning at 5 a.m. before going to the university. And I started to read hundreds of books and watch courses, everything that I get my hands on how to create a business and to create products for people. And I was pretty lonely. I didn't have anyone that was interested on the same things than me. And this curiosity slowly pushed me to go through some startup ecosystem and know people that they were interested on the same things as me. For me, it was amazing to discover that young people like me were creating projects and products for people that they were used in real life. So I decided to do it myself too, to start my own first project. And what I did, it was the following. I searched for an idea and I started to create a roadmap. I started to envision the features. I tried to put myself in the client's shoes, and I was an engineer, right? So I was trying to create all the product in my head, and I was 100% sure that I was going to be a success. And after spending months and a lot of resources building the project, I discovered that I had no idea on how to build something that people wanted to buy. And actually, I saw more people around me on these startup ecosystems doing the same mistakes I did, building everything in their heads, putting a lot of functionalities out there, trying to create something amazing that no one have ever seen. And from the outside, this sounds like progress. The teams were busy, roadmaps were full, features keep coming out, but no one stopped and did the uncomfortable question: are we even building the right thing? So after that, I started to work as a freelancer, working for companies creating their digital products. And over the years, after working with a lot of real projects, I started to notice a pattern. Most products doesn't fail because the execution of the technology is bad. They fail because people start building without being clear about who they are trying to help, clear on who is this product for, which is the core value of the product, and even if someone is ready to pay for it. I'm going to give you a real-life example. I started to work with a team and they were creating a talent marketplace. It was a mobile app. They were putting in contact people that they have some kind of talent, for example, magicians, singers, dancers, with people that they had some intention of hiring them. They were starting to get users in the beginning, and it was amazing because this is not the common thing, but they were not paying. Instead of asking why, the approach was to build more features, build new roles, build a support for creating events in the app. But the problem was not in the execution. So we stopped building new features and we rip off all the features that they were not necessary, and we focus on one core problem that we want to solve. And people were actually willing to pay. That decision didn't magically make the product succeed overnight, but we saved months and thousands of euros on development, focusing on the core thing. And this situation is extremely common. We had another client that they were building an app for helping farmers, basically with everything related with their farm, inventories, irrigation, everything you can imagine. And that was the main problem. They were focusing on the big picture and trying to help the farmer on everything they can. But we actually noticed that the farmer were not interested on that. It was very complex. So we sat down, we speak with farmers, and we saw that they were only caring about one core functionality that actually the app could deliver very well. After that, we cut everything else and we focused on that functionality and we made the app a success. And sometimes the right decision is not continue at all. We started a project that was a TikTok-like app where they put in contact influencers with beauty brands so they can promote their stuff on their accounts and generate sales. But actually, sitting down and analyzing the core value, we saw that the biggest value we were giving was putting in contact the beauty influencers with the beauty brands. So actually the whole model pivot, and they created an agency that they were focused on doing that exactly. And suddenly, it worked. Those are the results I care about. Reducing at its maximum, creating a failure product. And that's how I work today. Before building anything, we sit down and we analyze the core problem we're going to solve to our ideal customers. And the next step is not even building, is to create something that we can test to prove that our hypothesis is true. What I actually do is to create what I call a smoke test. We prototype a solution that solves the core problem we're trying to solve to our ideal customer with AI. Doesn't need to be perfect. We just need to reach the market and get users to use the app and analyze the current behavior. Then we do it again. We prototype again, we do the fixes, and we launch it again until we have clarity on what we are going to build as early as possible. Because people can tell you that they are interested on your idea, but paying is very different. So what we do in the last iteration of the test, we try to get people to pay. Once we have several clients that they pay for our solution that we build with AI, that's when we plan to do a real development. So as you can imagine, having validated the idea with paying customers already before even building the product reduce massively the chances of failure of the product. And that's my job. Not to move fast, not to build everything, but giving clarity to the project so people can actually know that the thing they are building is going to be used by real customers. If you're building something and you're curious to know how this methodology will apply to your product, in the description you will find a link to jump on a call with me and I will give you a hand.